Hi there, everyone. Today I want to talk to you about our responsibility, and the difference when it comes to duty. Duty and responsibility are two opposite spectrums, and we tend to find it difficult to identify these two things, so we can take responsibility and know which one is our own duty. Now, you see, it is very important to have knowledge. It is important to understand the knowledge, but it is more vital to know where that knowledge can be implemented so it can yield a good result. Now, you see, for the most part of it, people don't really understand the concept of God. Who God is and what God wants from us. It's not all about, sending these little messages up in the sky, asking God to change how the universe works. It's not all about that. But it's all about you sitting down, meditating, thinking more, and doing the right thing for you to get the right results. Now, here is one thing: we always ask God to give us money. We always ask Him for the wrong things, and that is why we don't get the results that we want. It is the duty of God to take care of us, but it is our responsibility to be responsible. And not just being responsible, it's our responsibility to do something, because God will never bless nothing. Okay? God blesses hard work. God blesses process. He doesn't bless nothingness. Alright? Now, for most part of it, people kind of pray to God or ask God to give them money. Now, here is the thing: God will never give you money. No. When you ask God for money, He gives you ideas. Now, that idea is the most important thing you need than money. Just like how wealth is the most important thing you need than money. When you get money, you build wealth with it. Now it becomes a strain, alright? Because money finish with time, but wealth gets sustained. That's what keeps you going as a person. Now, it is the management of ideas that is the most important thing we need to learn. If you learn how to manage your ideas, then you won't get what you want in substance. And God is always ready. God is always ready to have you by His side, to have you understand what He wants you to understand. And it's all about you opening your mind to God. And when you open your mind to God, He immediately controls the process of your thinking and your actions. And you find yourself in a process of change. And that process of change is what yields the results that you want, which you later term progress. Now, it is key for us to change the concept of what is really our responsibility. We need to change the mindset of asking God for money to start asking God for ideas. Most of y'all are lazy. That's the problem. Most of y'all are lazy. You don't want to do anything, but you want to get everything. It doesn't work like that. Look at those people we admire today. The people in history books. They had to work things out. Now, let me bring an example of some noble people, okay, who were black people like us, who lived in foreign countries, but they told us that human nature itself cannot be catalogued, and they in their lives went through some dazzling nights of affliction, and then became blazing stars of inspiration because they succeeded. The reason why is because they worked. And so it's in the slave area of Genius Hills, Booker T. Washington rose up. He rose up to be one of America's great leaders. He lived in Taunton, Alabama, and darkness fled that city because of him. Yes, in a poverty-stricken area of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Marian Anderson rose up to be the world's greatest contralto. So even Toscanini could say, wow, voice like this comes once in a century. And guess who? Sibelius from Finland could say, my roof is too low for such a voice. And also from the red hills of Cala, Georgia, in the hands of a mother who could neither read nor write, Roland Hayes rose up to be one of the world's greatest singers. He carried his melodious voice to the palaces and mansions of kings and queens under crippling circumstances. And there was a George Washington Carver to cut for himself an imperishable name in the annals of science. And then came a star in the diplomatic sky. Then came Ralph Bones, the grandson of a slave preacher. He reached out and grabbed it, and he allowed it shine in its light with all of its scintillating beauty. This is to tell us that you can be somebody, but yet you must get up and do something. And so, to end this, I will bring out the justification of the conviction of the poet that black and white complexion can never define nature's claims, that regardless of where you are, regardless of your skin color, you can be somebody. And if I were to be so tall as to reach the poles, to grasp the ocean at a span, I must be measured by my soul, because the mind is the standard of the man. So change the way you think and change your life for the better. I thank you.